How's it going?
All right, Tad.
Hey, Dr. Tate, how are you?
Good. I'd like to say you're looking good, but I can't tell.
There you go. How you
There
guys
he
doing?
is.
Great. Nice to see
Oh,
you.
everybody hide, 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 hide. It's Letty, hide.
Hello.
Hey, Laddie.
Hi. Oh, hi, doctor. Is
Good
that
to
the
see you.
Dr. David?
Dr. David,
What is
Dr.
it?
Brad, whatever.
Mr. Nice. Mr. Nice Guy.
Well,
The
Yes,
nice
I
guy.
know that laugh.
that
Good
definitely
to
fits
see you.
Brad. I know that.
No, Brad is mean to me.
That's hard to believe. And there,
Yeah, well,
okay. Good.
he likes you. That's why. No, good to see you guys.
Good to see the few of you who have joined us so far. Thanks for doing so, and for showing your face. That's nice.
Hi, Ashley.
And we had Rachel there for a moment. All right, let's see. I need to change the view here so I can see everyone. Gallery. Okay. There we go. Good. Oh, we lost Rachel, but anyway, nice to see the three of you, the four of you with Brad. Um,
Do you ever get tired of seeing Brad, Dr. Tate?
you know, I haven't had that experience yet, but
I
It's
haven't
coming.
either.
It's coming.
Brad's such a good support to me that I think I'd be in trouble if I got tired of seeing him. So
Yeah.
there's Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
Check the mail.
And
Here they all come. Hi, Rachel.
Hey.
Leslie, Molly.
There's Molly. Great. Welcome
Hi.
here, Leslie.
Hi.
Good to see all of you.
You too.
Thank you.
It's the story of a lovely lady. Da, da, da. Anybody old enough for the Brady Bunch?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
I am.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a Zoom user. Not sure who that is.
That's me. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm sick, so I'm trying to,
Oh, no.
yeah.
All
Hey,
right.
Gavin. Hey, Gavin.
Hey, what?
So Scuba's here, and I was at Costco getting gas, and I walked around the back of my truck, and guess what he put on my bumper?
Love it. Big bread N.
A big Nebraska Cornhusker sticker.
Yes. Love to
Nice.
So
see it.
contrast to my Oklahoma.
Love to see it.
Yeah, Brad's a Sooner fan, huh?
Yeah.
I see it on your truck. So,
Yeah.
did you go to the University of Oklahoma or?
No, I just grew up a fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we have, and so Gavin, are you, where do you live then? Are you in Nebraska?
Yeah, I'm right in Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm about 5
Okay.
minutes from the stadium.
Oh, well, you are a Cornhusker then. Okay. All right. And we have Kara and Maddie, who we can't see, but welcome. I know sometimes people are not able to put your photo up. If it comes to the point that you can, that'd be great. Just nice to see you. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Thanks, Molly. Brad, what do you have to say to tee us off? Tee us up. Tee us off. That was good.
Nothing really. Just
Okay.
welcome everybody, and we're glad to have Dr. Tate facilitating tonight. And
Yes.
oh, I do have one little announcement. Well, it's kind of a big announcement. We have secured a permanent location.
Oh, wow.
That's news to me too.
Yeah, so we will be hopefully starting our December session there.
Is it your house, Brad?
Really, it's at my house. Yeah, it's a backyard. Yeah. Tad, we're gonna put Tad up in the shed. That's
Perfect.
nice. Maybe the lawnmower and
The shed.
build a sweat lodge over there. And
That's right. So yeah, I'll send some pictures and some video of the new location, and it's gonna be a lot of work. I've been furniture shopping all day, and Jen will be going to Vegas to shop for all kinds of knickknacks. It's gonna be fun. So we'll have like an official ribbon cutting, let's say in January.
where is it, Brad?
It's over um it's in Washington. If you know where Warner Valley is by chance.
Yeah, I think we
It's
drove through that.
it's
Yeah.
kind of it's adjacent, it's just off the Southern Parkway that runs out to the airport. So we're about 5 to 7 minutes away from the airport, just up the road from the Sand Hollow Reservoir.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'll send you some pictures so you can see it all.
Cool.
Well, thanks for
So we're
sharing the
not
good
going to
news,
be
Brad.
invited then.
Um, oh shoot, I forgot Letty was
Maddie.
on here. I shouldn't have announced that. I'm kidding. Yes, you will be invited. We're either going to invite you to come out in person, or we'll do like a Zoom deal so everyone can be present. It'd be fun.
That's great. Thanks for the good news.
You're welcome. I'm Addie.
All right, very good. Thank you. Now, if you're driving, Maddie, and I can't hear you, your audio's off. You're welcome to turn your audio on if you want to, because I welcome comments, questions. Appreciate your being interactive, whatever feels comfortable for you. No pressure, but please
Be safe.
speak up if you have anything you want to input or ask.
I just figured out. I just figured out how to unmute it. All right, I'm here. Good to see y'all.
Good. Good. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you're not driving, but it looks like you are.
Yeah. No, I'm actually up here.
Well, that looks pretty from what I can
Yeah.
see. Where is
I
up
just-
here?
I've been exploring St. George, and I just like went up a hill and parked. And sorry, my dog just hit me. And I chose a really pretty like overlook. So I'm parked. I'm not driving.
That's great. Great. Thank you.
Yes.
Glad you're here. Well, all right. Thank you, all of you. I have some direction I want to give this, but first and foremost, I just want to ask if anyone has anything in particular that you would hope we could address tonight in some way, or try to. I say we because I'm certainly not pretending I'm the only one that might have an idea to share about whatever you want to talk about. And since we've got Brad here, he's a wise guy and a wise man.
Wise guy, I'm not sure.
And a wise man, he can input, but so can all of you. All of you, of course, have your own life wisdom. So I just wanted to just start by asking if anyone has anything that's pressing that you're saying, I really need some support with this. I'm home now, I'm struggling with this, or forgetting how we did this, whatever. I'm hoping we could talk about this. Please give me a little input now, and then know that you can ask questions all throughout. But anyone have anything in particular you're hoping we might touch upon tonight? Please, Tad.
Um, I still find myself falling in my old routine when I'm in meditation between just being focused on my thoughts and transitioning between, being in touch with your body and then your thoughts and then also your emotions and feelings, and just having an awareness of them and how to tap into that consistently.
So to tap into the ability to stay aware in the
To
process.
be aware
Get
of your
lost
emotion, to be aware of your emotions in addition to your thoughts and how your body's feeling.
Okay.
Mine's kind of sporadic. Like sometimes I can be in touch with my feelings and emotions, and other times it's more of a struggle.
because your attention is on what
Just
in those
all
moments?
it gets by so many thoughts going through my head.
Yeah. Okay.
And being able to put that aside for a moment and then just get in touch with feelings and thought and emotions and those things. You seem to be the Yoda of getting in touch with your emotions and feelings in meditation. So I come to you as a novice.
Well, as one meditation teacher says, Stephen Levine, he says, those who think they have their stuff together are usually standing in it at the time. Okay.
Okay.
You can
Yep.
understand that. Perhaps I
Yep.
stood in a cow pasture too, back in, I don't know. But in any event, I can certainly share my experience. I am happy to, but I won't claim the title of Yoda. But anyway, in fact, what I think might be useful would be for us to start with that and and to practice actually being with our experience physically, mentally, emotionally. Uh, so let's begin with a meditation. We'll do that, and then if any the rest of you had another question, we'll come to that after this meditation that we'll begin with. So right now, wherever you are, I want you to just bring your attention to where you are. Okay? There's an old Zen saying, wherever you go, there you are. So to be where we are right now. So what does even that mean? Well, this awareness that I call myself in a sense, okay, I'm aware, this consciousness of my body sitting on a chair right now. And from what I can tell, you're all sitting, but wherever you're positioned, there are going to be points of contact. So I want you to bring your attention to the points of contact in your sitting or your lying or however you're positioned, because you're not floating in space. So you can close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, or absolutely gaze at a spot in front of you so that you can bring your full attention to feeling, for example, your feet. If they're on the floor, feel that connection to the floor. It might be through your socks and shoes, but there's a sense of felt connection there. If they're on the floor, wherever they are, they're probably touching something in one way or another. If you're cross-legged, you might still just notice, okay, they're positioned here. So you notice your feet. And as you bring your attention to your feet, they're connected to your ankles. So bring your attention to your ankles and wiggle the toes a little bit. We don't want to overlook the toes that are part of the feet. So you start to attune yourself to your body. Now, you are thinking because you're hearing what I'm saying. And if you're going along with this, you're understanding what I'm saying and you're directing your attention there. So there's some thinking going on, but it's supportive thinking of where you want your attention to be in this present moment. And while there's no right place for it to be, we're just doing this little exercise. You're just seeing how this is. So being curious about, how do my feet feel? My ankles, my calves and shins, the lower legs. You might feel the touch of your pants against your calves and shins, or your socks coming up the lower leg there. Or if they're bare, although this time of year we're maybe not in shorts, but you can feel the air on your skin. And as you continue on up your body, you notice the next joint, the knees and the thighs. And at some point, as we're moving through the body, you're probably going to notice an emotion because sooner or later we come to some part of the body that is maybe hurting a little bit, is tense, or that we don't like. We might have some thought about it in that way. I don't like this part of my body. My thighs are too big, or whatever arises. We're still wanting to stay curious about it. Oh, there's a thought. Oh, there's a related emotion to this thought. So I bring my attention to my thighs, for example. Or we come up to the buttocks, pelvic region. Feel that contact. There you are, sitting, resting. Here's more support. There's these points of contact. So by now, you've undoubtedly felt some of these. And so while an emotion might arise, it might be more like, okay, here, as I bring my attention to these points of contact, I'm just going to kind of settle my attention there for a moment and really feel what it is like to feel that support of the chair, the couch beneath my thighs, the buttocks where I'm sitting. There's a certain weight, there's a certain felt sense of support, comfort, discomfort. We're just curious about it, present in our body. And then sometimes other things will start to bubble up. Even though this is the object of our meditation, the body right now, other things will bubble up, like thoughts and emotions. Now notice your back. Your back may be touching the chair, the seat, the couch, the bed. Feel those points of contact. You may notice as you do so, oh yeah, and there's that discomfort in my lower back, or if not here, maybe you will somewhere else. But when you notice something that grabs your attention because it's uncomfortable, all of a sudden this is a moment of awareness of a call for help, you could say, from this part of your body. It might have been calling for help quite a bit already, and now you're finally paying attention to it. Or maybe you now notice, it might say that lower back, well, now you're finally paying attention. Or you might notice, oh, I hadn't really noticed that before, but yeah, there's some discomfort or tightness there. Whatever the case, now you're giving attention. How are you going to give attention to it? You're paying attention, but we can either pay attention with resistance, like, yeah, that blankety blank back, or whatever's going on mentally, we might stir emotions that come out of this resistance, like anger, resentment, worry, sadness, frustration. So we just notice with the same kind of curiosity, what is this like to feel this emotion? And the emotion might not actually be felt there in the lower back. It might be felt in the gut. Maybe our belly's hardening, maybe our jaws tightening a little bit, our fists clenching as we're feeling that discomfort, that pain. So the emotion might be reflected somewhere else, or both somewhere else and in the back, or just in the back. In fact, maybe that lower back is tight and tense because of an emotion. That might have been what caused it in the first place. We don't have to necessarily know cause and effect to bring our attention to it. But we can be curious and notice there's a relationship between emotion and sensation, and a relationship between thoughts and emotions and sensations. And so this awareness that we are being curious about being in this body and what's happening in it right now, the only moment we can actually experience is right now. It's always that way. So all time is successive moments of now. So here we are paying attention to our body, noticing what's coming up. I'll bet by now, everyone on the call has found your attention going somewhere else for a moment. You hear a sound, you have a thought, maybe a kind of related thought, but now you're not really thinking about where we are, and then might get lost in inner space in all kinds of things. You might be thinking about, yeah, what am I going to have for dinner tonight? Or about a conversation you had earlier today or something. And that's okay. That is exactly what brains do. Sometimes they're like, oh, this is kind of boring, I mean, scanning my body slowly like this, and so, but awareness, the awareness that you are, can notice, oh, thinking. Just like you can notice the sensations, you can notice thinking, you can notice an emotion arising. So this awareness, we want to stay curious. And when we get lost and we lose awareness that we're aware, we're just kind of lost in thought. Well, we don't know we are until all of a sudden we realize, oh yeah, Dr. Tate's talking, and where are we now? Okay, yeah. That's okay. That's exactly what we're practicing, is being aware, bringing our attention to these different places I'm inviting you to. We're going to add another piece here now, which is, yeah, when you notice something uncomfortable, you can pay attention to it with kindness, with compassion, with gentleness. You can, in other words, have the intention to pay attention without resistance, because it's the resistance that stirs the emotion anyway, that kind of fighting against it, contracting around it. Oh, okay. Let me take a deep breath or two. Let me see if I can soften around this, let go of my resistance so that I'm not at war with myself. And we found that this is actually the most effective way to work with physical and emotional pain of whatever sort. So having this intention to pay attention with openness, with kindness, with gentleness, with compassion, lovingly, is a wise way to meet our difficulties, the difficulties of unpleasant sensations and emotions and even thoughts. So we might have, oh yeah, gee, I can't keep these thoughts keep bubbling up and distracting me, or oh, I hate these thoughts, and so we resist our thoughts. And when we start to resist our thoughts, if we look closely, we'll see, oh, there's an emotion. This resistance is, frustration or irritation or worry, or some flavor of unpleasant emotion that then, if we look even a little more closely, oh yeah, I kind of feel that here in my chest, my belly. So see, they're all interrelated. Our intention is to simply be curious. We began with noticing points of contact in the body touching wherever we're sitting. We can continue. We can bring our attention to our upper back. Maybe that's also a point of contact. We can feel the contact of our clothing. But we can bring our attention to our breathing and notice how, as we're breathing in and out, there's this kind of connection with whatever we're wearing. We can feel that expansion against our shirt, for example, and release. Not that the purpose is to just be aware of tactile sensation and contact, but that's one way of noticing. And hopefully, just in this process of being present, you might notice that the body starts to relax because we're not thinking unduly about other things, but maybe it hasn't. But usually just being curious about what's happening in the present moment and with the intention to not resist moves us into a relaxed state. But whatever the case, it's not that you should have that experience. It's simply notice. Notice, is this having any effect in terms of your physical sense of relaxation, calmness, safety? And maybe not. Maybe it's getting more intense when you're noticing these things. That's okay too. Because if your intention is to be kind, gentle, loving, compassionate, you're actually working with whatever's arising. And as you're working with it, It's a kind of working that's subtle. It's not a got to get rid of it working with it. It's more like a I'm listening to you. What are you trying to tell me? What is this biofeedback of sensation or emotion? And by being curious on the physical level, this thinking mind starts to quiet down too, because you're continuing to redirect your attention back to your body, back to the emotions, even if they're unpleasant. Sometimes the thinking mind starts, yeah, well, it kind of fuels the thinking more. You just keep noticing, thinking, and where is that thinking reflected in the body? So this awareness can just make mental notations, even like, thinking or thought. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. But as soon as we kind of grab onto that thought, oh yeah, but you know, he shouldn't have done this or she should have done that or whatever. And we start resisting what did happen, what might happen, what is happening now. The emotions arise, the stress arises. But if we just look at the thought for what it is, it's just a thought, thought, thinking. It doesn't have power over us. It's kind of like watching the birds fly through the air. You see, this conscious awareness is actually like the space in which sensation, emotion, thought arises, like the space in which birds and planes and insects fly and we move and our earth travels and all the planets and the sun. It's all moving in space on the physical level. Well, internally, these thoughts, emotions, and sensations are just moving through the space of our awareness. When we sit here and observe our body, our emotions, and we could continue noticing more specifically the trunk of the body, the face, the head, and so forth. But the main purpose of this isn't so much to do a body scan. I mean, that's useful. You notice if your shoulders are a little elevated, let them relax, let the facial muscles relax, whatever that's fine. That's good. That's a useful practice. But right now, what I want you to just notice is that you are aware. You're aware of your body, wherever it's positioned, however it's positioned. You can be. You can notice that. You can notice emotions come and go. Sensations come and go, not just tactile, but sounds. Even if your eyes are closed, visual sensations. If they're open, you notice things coming and going. But perhaps smells or tastes. You can notice all these things. You might think, yeah, well, why do I want to? Well, you're actually becoming more aware of what's happening right here, right now. You're more able to respond consciously because you're conscious, you're aware of it, rather than simply react. Like we feel an itch, we might just you know, rub the itch and scratch it, but kind of mindlessly, or we could, there's some discomfort, there's an itch. I'm just going to gently meet the need without getting reactive, without losing our peace of mind. Because reactivity, we tend to then become unpeaceful. Or when we respond lovingly, we maintain our peace, our inner peace. If we respond kindly, non-reactively, we maintain our inner peace, our equanimity. So we've been doing this now for quite a while, but just one last little thing. Here you are, you're aware of sensation, you're aware of emotions that arise, that come and go. Sometimes there's no real sense of any emotion, or it's maybe just a quiet, calm, peacefulness. Now, what I'd like for you to do as you notice these things is shift the lens. Shift the lens in this way. I want you to see if you can become aware that you're aware. See if you can become aware that you're aware. We've been using awareness, our essence. We've been all along to be aware of all these things. Now, just shift it slightly and realize, oh, I'm aware that I'm aware. This is, in my experience, the way that we can recognize that our essence, this fundamental awareness, is not reactive at all. It's simply aware of what's arising. This is like really looking at the space, not even noticing the birds of thought and emotion and sensation moving through the space, but really looking at the space itself and realizing we are this awareness. When we stop and notice, when we become aware that we're aware, it we could say is a fuller awareness. Just rest in that, and your attention might shift back and forth between sensation or emotion or thought and then awareness itself. But just for a few more moments, just rest in awareness. As you hear the bell, you can bring your attention back to wherever you're located. Hopefully those bells, sometimes bells don't sound so great across the computer, but hopefully they sounded gentle. All right. Well, Tad, we took your wonderful question and kind of expanded and explored that. I'm wondering if that helped you at all to notice.
Yeah, it did. Thank you, Dr. Tate. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Anyone else, comments or questions, or yourself, Tad, if you have one about that. But yeah, Letty, and you're going to have to unmute.
Are you done, Dad? I don't want to
Oh, yeah.
interrupt.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Okay. Well, my husband had surgery twice in his eye. He's been dealing with an eye issue for 3 months, and I've been taking care of my grandbaby that's 2.5, and I've been doing really great. I'm just teaching this little girl, and I'm just, the bridge taught me to have endurance, all those hikes every day that I thought I couldn't do. I found a strength in me, and, everything that the bridge did for me, it's got put to use, right? I mean, I got home and then it's just test after test. And I'm going through grieving my son as well, but I just struggle with those 3 voices, dark voices that says you didn't do enough. You're just not enough, good enough grandmother. That food was not enough, that you're not doing enough. Just, I don't know if it's the sabotager or, and I talked to my psychologist yesterday after a month of not talking to her a long time, and she wants to she wants me to practice self-love and compassion and looking at myself in the mirror. And to me, to my brain, that is just crazy. I just can't. How can I love myself, right? How can I have compassion to myself? And so um, I've been just grieving my baby, my son, for the last 2 days, and just being so much, having so much self-aware from the bridge, right? I know my nervous system is still um, in fight and flight and freeze, but just those negative voices. And so this meditation did help me, but I guess I get lazy when it comes to doing the exercises of love and self-compassion, because for me, I did it once at the bridge. I wish I could have done more longer, but just to look at myself in the mirror, breathe and love myself and hug me. But to do that now, when I have to take care of two people, it just feels like, no, what are you talking about? Like, it's not about me, it's about others. And I'm feeling proud that I'm not selfish, that I'm being a great Gigi, and that I'm teaching a toddler. I'm being the best mom I've ever been, the best grandmother, but it's not enough. And I just have these nagging thoughts in the morning, and just, of course, I've cried. And so I guess maybe I should meditate every morning and be aware of my body and cry for my boy for a few minutes and then move on. But I don't know, just some tips on this self-love, or it's just those voices of my mom, my dad, my family, who I grew up hearing, you're not good enough. Oh, well, just not feeling good enough. And it's embarrassing, not loving myself. So any tips?
Yeah, well, thank you, Letty, for sharing that. And I'm glad you have that awareness, recognizing these actually aren't your voices. These are the voices of others that you acquired, part of your conditioning. And I would suggest that that not enough voice then is not. I can tell you it's not awareness saying that. It's your conditioning saying that. It's not your soul, if you want to think of awareness as your soul or whatever, your essence, but it is, these are these voices that do not, uh, that were acquired, your conditioning, that do not serve you well, and you can tell that. And so, if we were to apply what we were just using, when you notice those voices in your head, say you're not enough, you're not doing enough, you didn't do enough, one thing you can do is just say, like we were doing there, thinking, thought. That's like uh, you know, a polluting plane, a plane that's making all kinds of pollution going through your space, okay? uh, or a bird dropping on your head, it's excrement on your head. In other words, it's coming through and it's miserable, or a mosquito or something, a fly bugging you. It's in this space, but as soon as you say, thought or thinking, just a thought, it's just a thought, and don't give it the power, you've already started to step away from it, be an observer. Okay, now these are strong enough voices, I hear, that you're going to have some emotion if you entertain them very long at all, and they might just kick into emotion right away. So what you can do, if it's not enough to just thinking, thought, you can start there, but no, I'm feeling shame, I'm feeling guilt, I'm feeling embarrassed, I'm feeling angry, whatever it is. You can pause and you can look and see, where am I feeling that in my body? Okay, here's the emotion. It's here in my, let's say in your gut, for example, a common place. Then you can address it more directly. And this is what we might call a self-compassion break. Okay, so to build on what your therapist was pointing you to, the self-compassion break has 3 steps. And I'll tell you where you can, kind of be reminded of this or walk through this, but I'll walk you through it right now. The first step is acknowledging we're hurting. oh, this is a moment of suffering. I'm hurting. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling shame, whatever it is. I'm feeling worry. Okay. The second step is to recognize this is part of our human experience, our common human experience. You're not alone. Every one of us has had loss. I'm not saying they're all the same. I'm not minimizing in any way the loss of your son. I'm not minimizing that. I'm simply saying we know the pain of loss. And it's because we're all human. We're all in this together on this human journey. And we all know grief. We all know sadness and anger and fear. And I'm not saying the circumstances are the same, but I'm saying you're not alone. I mean, is there anyone on this call who has not experienced suffering, grief, loss of some sort or another, pain, anger, sadness? It's just what we're doing. So again, it's not minimizing it, but it's reminding us, yeah, okay, maybe this isn't a mistake. I'm not saying, death maybe wasn't a tragedy or whatever, but maybe it's like, because our minds go to, I shouldn't be experiencing this. This shouldn't have happened. And we should upon ourselves. That can be spelled two ways, but we fight against what was or what is or what might be. And this is the resistance that I was talking about that arises. So when we notice we're resisting, it's probably because, again, the thinking mind is saying this shouldn't have been, or whatever. And now recognizing, well, this is what happens in a human life, these kinds of things. How do I want to respond to it? How do I want to respond? I want to respond with love, kindness, compassion. That might be really hard, looking in the mirror, whatever. So sometimes the easiest way is to think, well, how does my therapist respond to me? How would someone I love, how do they respond to me? Or someone that what would my son say to me? Or how would my deceased grandmother, who was so loving, how would she respond to me? Or whatever. You get a picture in your mind of someone who would respond to you in a kind, wise way, and imagine, okay, what would they say? Because right now in your mind, you're saying, I'm not enough. So we're not asking you to do it yet because it's too much, okay? We're saying, let's take the perspective of someone who can hold us with compassion. And what would that person say to me in response to, I'm not enough? And what would they do? And they might give us a hug. That special person might give you a hug. Or maybe you're a Christian and you're thinking, how would Jesus respond to me? Or how would the Buddha respond to me? Or someone who kind of imagine in your mind if you can't think of someone directly in your life. And then if they would give you a hug, maybe you give yourself a hug. Okay. And you imagine what they would say to you and how they would respond as a way of helping you start to do that yourself. Okay. Another way you can do it is you can say, how would I respond to someone else who would have this same loss or this same situation, who's beating themselves up with, I'm not enough? How would I respond to that person? Because oftentimes it's easier to be more compassionate to someone else than it is to ourselves. And I'm guessing that's the case for you. And so, as it is for most of us, I think. So then what would I say to someone else? Well, I would tell them this, or I would give them a hug, right? Okay, can I do that for myself? So that's the third step of this self-compassion break. One, we acknowledge the truth. We're hurting in whatever way. We recognize it's part of this human journey. So how can I best, and we're not alone, how can I best respond? And then we think about someone who, we can bring them at least into our awareness, or we might, how we would respond to someone, like I was saying, or how they would respond to us. And then we give that to ourselves. Okay, does this make sense, Letty?
Yes, so there is no shame in feeling needy.
No, who of us isn't needy? Now, sometimes,
Well, growing up, I guess, like you're so needy or you don't deserve the attention. And so me always feeling like, well, let me get out of your way. I don't want to bother you, but there's no shaming. Like my 2-year-old granddaughter, I give her so much love and I love to tend to her, but that wasn't given to me. So like I said, there is such programming, but I guess those exercises will help shape what Tyler would teach us, create new pathways.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Change those neural pathways. You can absolutely do that. The evidence is clear, scientific evidence about these practices helping change neural pathways. And so, but we're all needy. I mean, really, all of us, we are supported every day by many people, directly or indirectly, whether we're talking about the utility companies or we're talking about, you know, the farmers, or we're talking about the people around us. None of us are totally independent, self-reliant. Okay. As much as we might try to be, we're dependent, we're needy on Mother Earth, the trees around us giving us fresh oxygen. I used to think that Barbara Streisand's song, People Who Need People Are the Luckiest People. You've probably heard that song. I won't sing it for you. I don't want to blow you. I don't want you to click off. All right. So, people who need people are the luckiest people. I used to think that was the codependence theme song. But now I know, no, we all need each other, and that's okay. We need people. We don't need to act needy in kind of a manipulative way, but when we have a need, it's important that we ask for help, that we reach out. And just like you appreciate your granddaughter reaching out to you and allowing you to help her, you wouldn't want her to, no, no, I'm not going to let grandma help me. Okay. No, you want to help her. You're grateful she asked for help. Well, we think, well, once we're adults, we should have our stuff together, right? But remember, if we act that way, we're standing in it at the time, like I quoted the meditation teacher before. No, it's okay to ask for help, and we all need help. I have a therapist I meet with regularly. It's not like I've arrived. No, I need someone else's perspective at times. Like, how do I work with this or whatnot? It's just we all need support. So I was saying, Brad's a great support to me there at the bridge, and we all need each other. Okay. So anyway, thank you, Letty. I hope that was helpful, uh, and it builds on what we were
Thank you
talking
so much.
about. Yeah, you're about the mindfulness meditation practice. So yes, I recommend we meditate. I meditate every day, and it really, really helps me. It helps me to then, as I go through the day, catch myself more easily when I'm getting caught in my thoughts, when I'm reacting, when my body's trying to give me biofeedback. I'm better attuned to it anyway, and not always as well attuned as I would like. But all right, anyone else comments or questions about what we've been talking about here? No?
Oh,
Fine. I have more things, but I want to address yeah, please, Maddie.
oh, okay. I have a question.
Mhm.
How do I feel security in the mystery? If
So
that makes
tell me,
sense. Like
tell me about
starting,
mystery a little bit.
the mystery of like the unknown. Like I
No.
kind of I kind of dive, I don't mind touching the fire and going head first into it.
Mhm.
But it's funny right now, I feel like so many mixed emotions of like, how do I find security in the mystery of it? It's different than going and touching the fire, if that makes sense. Like it's kind of almost like not letting me relax. And also too, like for so long I kind of felt like I was under the control of either my ex-boyfriend or my mom for years. And this is like the first time that I like can expand my arms and legs and there's no resistance there. And that's kind of weird
Okay.
at the end of the day. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Well, I think so. I have an idea,
Okay.
idea of what you're talking about. So you kind of steer me back if uh, so first of all, exploring the unknown, it's very common that we're going to feel some vulnerability in doing so.
Yeah.
Okay. And so vulnerability isn't the most secure state. Uh, there's some apprehension, there's some, uh, you know, uh, natural kind of resistance that oftentimes arises. But if your intention is curiosity, if your
Okay.
intention is curiosity and your intention is uh, love, then the mystery becomes an exciting adventure. And of course, what do we mean by the mystery? Well, I mean, the inner journey is definitely mysterious, as well as sometimes the outer kinds of unknowns, right? But every outer unknown has an inner unknown as well. So I'm talking about the inner here because, okay, what is it like to skydive for the first time? I don't know. I haven't done it. That would be a mystery for me. Okay. And I would also feel
Yeah.
vulnerable, apprehensive, actually, maybe a little panicky. I don't know. So, um,
Yeah.
but what would it be? I would feel that. Oh, what is this like to feel panicky? What is this like to feel vulnerable? That's getting curious. And if we get curious with with a loving intention, life becomes uh, rich, fascinating, and exciting in its own ways. So, what do I mean by that? Your concern about being secure in the mystery is kind of like wanting to, uh, it's kind of like you're
How would you?
you're already kind of set up, you're already stifling curiosity by wanting to be secure. You're stifling
Yes.
the possibility. Okay. So, but we all have a need for security. But then, in moments, we let go of it and dive into the
Yeah.
mystery. And so, what I would say, and I know this, is bring the attention inward with that intention to be curious and to be loving towards yourself. And I'm going to give a definition of love that I think fits for what we're talking about here, which is Dr. Scott Peck's definition, the psychiatrist who wrote the book, The Road Less Traveled. He said, love is the will to extend ourselves to nurture our own or another's spiritual growth. And by spiritually, he didn't mean religious necessarily. It could be in that context, but it's what would nurture the growth and the well being of ourselves or another from the highest perspective. So, like when we feel called to try something, we feel like, yeah, it would be really good for me to go give that public talk. I don't want to, but you know, my pastor asked me to talk in church, or the Chamber of Commerce asked me to talk about this thing I'm involved with, or whatever. And I hate public speaking if that were your case. I mean, there was a study done once that found that people's greatest fear was not death. That was number two. Number one was public speaking. Now,
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I'm sure if push came to shove, people would start talking, okay? But nevertheless,
Yeah.
that's what people said. Anyway, I'm just using this as an example. So, okay, would it nurture my growth? Would it be good for me, even though it'd be really hard, to go ahead and say, yes, I'm going to give that talk in church. I'm going to give that talk in front of the Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to do that public speaking. And you're scared, but you're feeling vulnerable, but you're actually growing. You're nurturing your growth. You're willing to extend yourself to nurture your own growth. That's an act of love.
Yeah.
And how do you do it? How do you do it? Well, you try and stay curious. Okay, what's this like? And then you work with, let's say, the panic. And how do you work with the panic? You work with the panic by actually giving that part of your brain messages of safety. So, in other words, yes, you want to help yourself feel secure in the vulnerability, but it's in this way that you do. I hope I'm not rambling too much. It's like
Yeah.
the brain, this part of the brain. So this is like my brain here, okay? I got my prefrontal cortex, the rest of the cortex.
Uh-huh.
The prefrontal cortex is what I'm talking to you with right now, okay? And then and then coming up from the bottom and in the middle of my head is the reptilian brain and the mammalian brain or limbic brain, okay? The emotional brain where your amygdala is, fight, flight, freeze, so forth. This is the part of the brain that's saying, are we safe? Are we safe? I need to be safe. And that's its job. Its job is to keep you alive, keep you safe, keep you well, okay? To keep you physically okay. And it does a great job. It's doing most of the work right now, even while we're all sitting here, okay? Keeping the heart beating, the lungs breathing, everything, our nervous system regulated. But when it's saying, when this guy's thinking, oh, I can't give that talk, and I can't give that talk, people are going to judge me. I'm afraid of, I'll mess it up. I'll stick my foot in my mouth.
Yeah.
I'll forget my words. This part of the brain is sending message to this part of the brain. Yeah, that's unsafe. But what we need to do with this part of the brain is give it messages of safety. First of all, by stop telling ourselves such thoughts. It's kind of like it goes back to Letty's thing. Stop telling yourself you're not enough, okay? Because that only reinforces the old patterns, those neural pathways. Stop telling yourself you're going to fail, but stay curious about how can I succeed? And the first step in succeeding that way is by calming this nervous system. So how do you give it messages of safety? Well, things you learned at the bridge, like, okay, I need to remember to breathe because you're probably not breathing real well. Breathe abdominally, longer exhalations than the inhalations will move you in that direction. Doing that physiological sigh that we touch at the bridge, where you do the double in breath. So you do that a few times. So, okay, now I'm going to start thinking about what I'm going to talk about. Oh no, but what about, so you get all worked up. All right, okay. So back to calming this part. Okay. So that you can think about what you're going to do, what you're going to say. Okay, noticing the things we were doing at the first. Oh, my feet on the floor, the different calm parts in my body. My legs, they're calm, so forth, relax. So you keep giving it messages of safety, and this is relevant to any anxiety, it's relevant to other symptoms like chronic pain and so forth, like you learned about. So you give it messages of safety, and eventually you get calm enough that now you can start to think about what feels vulnerable in a constructive way, like, all right, I'm going to think through what would I like to say to the group, what would I like to do, and so forth. So okay, so that's a long answer
Okay.
to, you do want to give yourself messages of safety, so that you will be willing to dive into the mystery. Okay, so I haven't skydived, but I've scuba dived. I remember the first time I did that, I was feeling anxious, nervous, even though I swim well. It was new and so forth. But I'm so glad I learned to do that and was willing to face my fear. Anyway, that was a long answer to your question, Maddie. I hope it was helpful. Any comments about that you
It
want to
was.
respond?
You did great. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Wow. Time flies when we're having fun. Let's let's do this. I want you to just notice how you're feeling right now, having reflected on the things we've done, doing the meditation we did. Just kind of tune in, notice how you are. And because it never hurts to give a little extra support, go ahead and do that physiological sigh a couple of times, the double in breath. With a long exhalation. And again. And then put a hand on your heart area if you're comfortable with that. And just say to yourself, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to be reminded of things I've learned. You maybe learn some new things, reflect on things in a different way. Thank you for caring for myself. You're thanking yourself. We probably don't do that enough. Hey, acknowledge the constructive things we do during the day and open to that gratitude. And gratitude practice, like we practice at the bridge every day, is an important practice to carry forward for our own peace of mind, our own happiness. So let that be a gentle reminder of picking that up again. If you don't have a gratitude journal, or you're not taking time to hold yourself in gratitude, because that will also help with these issues we've been talking about today and other areas of your life. So now I just want to zoom in on Molly. Molly, I love that your dog, I mean, I could feel your gratitude for your dog, right?
As soon as I started doing that breathing, he came over to check in with me.
All right.
I think he thought I was crying.
Oh, isn't that great? Isn't that great? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. What's your dog's name?
His name is Nooks because he likes to cuddle in all the nooks.
Oh, Nooks. Okay. Thank you, Nooks, for helping us all out here. And thank you, all of you, for being here tonight. And bless you all. Namaste. If you remember that, the highest in me sees and honors the highest in you. Namaste. Thank you, each of you. Blessings to you, and happy holidays. Hope it can be for you. And Brad, thanks so much for your support again.
Absolutely.
Anything
Thanks,
you have to
Brad.
say before we end?
I don't. I think you've done it all. You've said it all. It's perfect.
Thanks so much, all of you. God
Okay, have a
bless.
good night,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye.
Thank
Good
you.
night. Bye.
Bye-bye.